Hello, and welcome back to the Den. Thank you for joining me again. It's been a very wet week, so I've done very little outside. Spent a great deal of time in here and just generally uh, trying to keep myself occupied while I'm still dealing with a slip disc. But enough about me. How about you? Have you been good? So, this week, what's new? First up, the mouse is finished. Um, I cracked on with this a little bit. I did plan to sort of do this in stages a little bit, but as you can see, it's finished. What I thought I might do is try and do some photographs and put on the end of this video. I am delighted. This is everything I hoped it would be. It's ridiculous. It's awesome. It's great. I love it. Really pleased with it. And hopefully, what it shows is you don't always have to follow the rules. You don't always have to be historically accurate. It's about enjoyment. It's about doing something that gives you a bit of a kick, gives you a bit of a lift. And for me, that's been great. So I've really enjoyed that. What have I been doing in the meantime? I've started a new little project. It's did a Tamiya kit. I thought, you know what, I need a break. I need something straightforward. So I've done this M3 half track, which has just been primed. It's got a load of figures with it. I've done the figures as well. Figures, the dark art of modeling. Yeah, not my strong point. I don't think they're too bad. I mean, what do you think? They're okay, aren't they? I try and, I've tried to persevere with figures as all the time I've been modeling, but it is what it is, I guess. So, other than that, this week I want to talk about reading. Now I know a lot of people. I read a lot. Okay, hands up. I read a lot. Always have done. Often I say to people, what's the last book you read? And they'll tell me something from their school days. Which I think is really sad because reading can offer so much, and in terms of mental health, it's huge. So I did a quick little search. You know, trying to find some statistics, and I was amazed to find a study found that 6 minutes reading a day lowered your anxiety by up to 68%. Now, that is mammoth. And for me, I read every night before I go to bed. I also I might read during the day, whether it's something on my phone, whether it's a book. And I think modeling is such a great basis for reading. So I've got a couple of examples. This is the things I'm reading at the moment. I recently bought this from the Tank Museum because it was on offer. Just general tank warfare. It is absolutely filled with some fantastic inspirational photographs. It's my kids. My kids used to take the mickey at me a little bit because they'd say about the books I read had lots of pictures in them. But that's fine. That's fine. Reading's not all about reading's gaining knowledge. They say reducing anxiety, sort of bringing you down. This is the second-hand book I bought. Half track, M3 half track. So I had a little scan through this, read a few bits and pieces about it, and I enjoy getting some background on the models I'm building if I can. And if that comes through books, magazines, online, whatever, it's reading. And the great thing about reading is not only, the information, building up information gets your mind going, gets your mind thinking, gets your mind distracted from what you might be thinking about, things that are getting you down, which is great. And I think it gives you a sense of achievement. There's an element of, an hour spent reading it's got to be better than an hour spent flicking through your phone. So that's that's got to be a positive. And let's be honest, online contact, social media is just the worst possible thing for any kind of mental health. Whether you think it doesn't affect you or not, it does. So get yourself a book, get yourself anything. And it doesn't have to be, magazines aren't what they used to be. I remember a time when everybody, I was buying 3-4 magazines a month. I buy this Military Modelcraft International. I buy this maybe once every 6 months, so a couple of copies a year. It is £6, but it is full of stuff, and it's what I call light reading. It's a flick through. Oh yeah, that gives me a little bit of inspiration, but it's also, yeah, just distracts me, takes my mind away, and I think you can give yourself a more rounded modelling experience by reading up on the subject, giving yourself some background. Now, the other side of this, of course, is audiobooks. No, it's not reading, but it's the same thing. It's giving your mind something else to think about. And I know a lot of people do this, that while I'm modelling, I listen to audiobooks. Tends to be military history or occasionally novels, sometimes books that I've bought and it's just too much to handle. Great example of that is The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich. Is an enormous book. Tried 3-4 times to try and read that, couldn't do it. Got the audiobook, listened to it, fascinating, amazing, so worth the effort to listen to. And what I'm doing, of course, is I am expanding my knowledge. I'm also giving my brain some new information to work on, which is great because I'm building new pathways in my brain, keeping myself active, learning something, giving me something that gives you another subject or another thing to think about, but also to talk about with other people. You know, we can all be socially inept. And yeah, I mean, all right, some people may look at you and just think, what is he on about? What is he talking about? But it doesn't matter. If you've gained some knowledge from a book, that is another string to your bow without any question. So I've kind of missed out on the modelling a little bit, and I know this is kind of incorporating. What I was going to say about modelling was the figures. Like I said, I mean, these are figures that come with a kit, and I've always struggled with figures. I've watched countless videos. I've tried different techniques. Yeah, I think my painting of the figures themselves is great. It's the faces. I mean, we'll all agree with that. The faces are so difficult. But I don't care because I enjoy it and it's for my pleasure. So if it's not perfect, if it's not the same as, some of the quality you can see online, who cares? Who cares? All right. So quick bit with this. I'm thinking of I'm trying to think of color schemes. And I found one that has a winter camouflage. So the olive drab with winter camouflage. So that's a possibility. I think if I do a winter camouflage, I might end up doing a little diorama with it. This, by the way, is a re-release of a very, very old kit. It's great. It's a little bit rough and ready in places, even compared with, like the sort of tack-on things, but very quick to put together. I put it together in sort of 2 sittings of, I don't know, an hour or 2, maybe. And yeah, really pleased with that. So I'm looking forward to getting that together. I also want to say big thank you for the feedback. I've had some comments on the videos. I've had some emails sent to me, and hopefully one of those I've taken big note of is the sound. So hopefully I'm using a microphone now, so hopefully the sound is much better. And please keep them coming. Like the videos, subscribe, pass it on. If you're on any modelling groups, please pass it on, because this isn't about me. This is about the message. This is about getting people talking, and the more people we can get talking through this wonderful hobby, the better we're all going to be. So I'm going to leave it there. Bit of a quicker one today. Going to be a longer video next time, I think, because I'm going to try and structure it a little bit better, and see if we can sort of deal with a few of the things that I've had emails about. I'm not going to get into personal circumstances. I just want to, some of the subjects that have been brought up been really, really valid. So thank you for that. And well, I'll see you hopefully we'll have another video out before the week is up. So look after yourselves, talk to somebody, ask somebody how they're doing, okay? And enjoy what you're doing. Speak to you soon.